Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me tonight. We are going to be painting a very fun and easy project. I'm calling it Rainbow Trees. It's kind of abstracted, very simple. We'll be using some simple tools, very easy to do, probably a great kids project. I thought for end of summer this might be kind of fun to do with some kids. So anyhow, we'll get started here. I'm not seeing it changed over there, hon. That's okay. Leave it.
Okay.
You're good. Got my husband Mark here with me.
Hey there, everybody.
Technical difficulties.
Well, it's selected for intro video.
That's okay.
Okay, we'll just keep on moving.
Yeah. Don't do it now. It'd be weird. Don't make it weird.
How's the music go?
Yeah, no. All right, so this is my example. It's a little bit messy. I was doing it on paper and just kind of trying to figure out how I wanted to work with the materials. So we'll kind of clean it up a little bit when we do it. But there's several different tools that you can use for this. I used this palette knife and this palette knife for it, for this painting. But you could use credit cards if you don't have a palette knife to do this portion down here. You could also use a sponge if you have like a little sea sponge to do those sections up here in the trees, or you could do that with Q-tips. So there's all kinds of different options, very inexpensive project. And I'm going to show you how to do it all the way through. So step by step, this is live. I got my husband Mark helping me with chat.
I'm here.
Yep. And we're a little bit off today because
That's all right.
We had to
It's
run get our
Eclipse.
it's from the Eclipse. We had an unexpected trip to the high school to drop our son off, so we're kind of running behind, trying to catch up. All right, let me go over the colors real quick. I've got a 9 by 12 inch hardboard panel here. This is a gesso board. It's pre-gessoed, but I've gone ahead and covered it with a coat of titanium white. And then I've got carbon black here. I've got the thicker...
Hold on.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. I've got thicker carbon black and thinner carbon black here. The thinner stuff to me works better for lines and things like that. So if you've got a craft paint, like one of those Deco Art or Ceram Coat apple barrel, one of those, you can use the black from that for this project, and it'll be maybe a little bit easier to do. And really, you don't have to use heavy body acrylics for any of this. This would be one that you could use any kind of acrylics, even the thinner stuff. This is titanium white, unbleached titanium, just an off-white color. Ultramarine blue, quinacridone magenta, cadmium red medium, cadmium orange, cadmium yellow medium, and this one is called light green yellow shade, and teal. So you can mix these colors if you don't have them already. This could be mixed with yellow and like a green, phthalo green, and then this one could be mixed with phthalo blue and phthalo green with some white. All right, so and I did want to say before we started that really you could do this in any colors that you wanted to. So if you wanted all red trees or all, green trees or any different color that you'd like, color combination that you want to do.
Cad blue and dirty white.
Exactly, cad blue and dirty white. I think it'd be pretty like with just those three, or maybe, your warm colors or these cooler colors. So any combination, you can just extend them if you don't want to do the whole rainbow. So don't feel like you have to do that. I just wanted to show all the different colors because I thought that'd be fun. All right, so I'm going to start out, just make it a little bit easier to place our trees and just kind of do a few little very light marks with my chalk to mark out some ovals where I want my trees to go. We're going to do 10 colors, so do 10 circles, and I'm kind of going up and down with the height and going right off the edge there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did it. All right. Doesn't always work out that way. I'm going to do a line down here, just a little section down at the bottom for some of the color to go, and then we're going to do some black above it, but I just wanted that marked out to kind of know where we want our grasses to start. All right, I'm going to grab my palette knife here. This is kind of a large flat palette knife. You could use a credit card for this too, and I'm going to use the thicker acrylic paint here and just scoop some up on the edge of that knife. And then I'm going to, actually I need to do it on the other side. I'm going to smush that off and scoop it on this side. And I'm going to set it down right along the edge, and I'm going to go over the top of that line and then sort of lift as I get up. There we go. So we don't want to go too far up. We just kind of want to make it look like bushes or something like that. And really this part down here doesn't have to be super thick because we're going to put color down there. So I'm going to scrape off some of that. We wanted a little bit of that black underneath. There we go. If it's doing that and you don't like it, you can kind of scrape through it. Scrape some lines in it. This is one of those projects that you can really just let go, have some fun. Don't get too caught up with making it perfect. See how you've got some of that white showing through now? Let me try it with the credit card and show you what that would look like. So I've cut the credit card down so it's a little bit smaller. And I'm going to use that and see what that does. See, it's got a very similar, I actually like that better than the palette knife. It's giving me more grass-like texture. Let's do some up here. Okay, that got a little high there. A little happy with that one. Let's pull it back. Yeah, come back. All right, there we go. Might give you a little bit more control if you kind of use it on this side and just sort of do like that. There we go. Okay, let's just scoop up a little bit more and do some more down here. Go all the way down to the edge. I'm going to scrape this way if I want to. Okay, I'm going to scrape through so that this kind of side matches this side with the scrapes through it. The white showing through. Okay, good. I wouldn't go back above maybe the third mark. So if you kind of look at your trees here, I would kind of keep it below the third so that there's a little bit of area of white where our tree trunks can go. All right, so let's, I don't know why I'm still holding this one. Just didn't want to get paint on anything, I guess. It is pretty messy. Scraping and all, really any of the palette knife type stuff, it gets a little bit messy because you're using thicker and more amounts of paint. So when you're working with kids, you can control your amount of paint, put out one color at a time, that kind of thing. That's how I liked to do it with my kids. That way I could kind of, once they were done with one color, I'd just take it away and give them the next color. So otherwise they'll mix them all together and you'll end up with a big muddy mess. Been there, done that. So I don't think the adults probably need that advice, so hopefully they won't be.
Maybe the husbands.
Maybe the husbands.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put in just a few tree trunks.
I'm missing questions here. I'm posting to social media and I'm not reading the questions.
Okay.
So let me back up. Somebody asked, why are you putting black below the line that you drew?
Because we're going to want a little bit of color underneath the color when we put it on. So we want that black underneath a little bit of the color.
Okay, it's kind of like a background.
Yeah, kind of like a background. It'll kind of peek through a little bit when we put our color on top. It should dry completely, though. Be sure that it dries completely before you put your color on because you don't want it to bleed into your colors. So I've got my tree trunks there, and I've loaded up that thinner black on the edge of a credit card here, and I'm just going to lay it and scrape. Ooh.
I gotta go catch one of our cats. Hold on.
What's he doing?
Well, somebody wants us to paint a cat, so I gotta go catch one. If you hear screaming, let me know.
Silly.
What?
Silly.
I mean, dog would be easier. He's right here. I could sneak up on him. Put a request in for painting a dog. Done.
Yeah. All right, I'm not liking the thickness of that credit card. It's kind of leaving some thicker lines than I want. So let me grab my palette knife again and see if I can get some better lines with that. So I'm just kind of scraping it up on one side, and I'm going to lay it flat and just drag it in a straight line. Yeah, that's good. You can kind of angle it a little bit if you want. If it's not coming off, if you angle it just slightly. I need to turn this. There we go. There. Now we're getting some good lines. And I'm doing some at a diagonal too, just so that they're not all perfectly straight. You can do these however you want to. Put as many as you want. If you do a bunch of them, they'll just look like there's some kind of off in the background behind our trees. I'm not really going up too far into the tree because I don't want this black to mix with our color too much. There we go. Am I still on? Yeah. Okay. Making sure I'm not going off camera here.
Oh, you know I'm watching and making sure.
All right. Yeah, I know you do.
I'm all over that.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. A little bit better, and I'm going to just put a few more little small grasses right in there. Okay. Clean that off. Be sure you have lots of paper towels. And if you have any of the paint that is dried up on your palette knife, you can dissolve it off with some alcohol, rubbing alcohol. It'll come right off. So,
would vodka work? And going back to your painting that you did alcohol with, people didn't have it. So they're asking if vodka would work.
You might have to try it and see.
Okay. That'd be an interesting video.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to mix up my purples because I wanted some colors that were sort of spanning the purple to magenta. So I'm grabbing my ultramarine blue and some of my quinacridone magenta, about equal parts there. I'm going to mix a purple out of that. Really have way more ultramarine blue than I need in right now, so put out way more than I needed. Grabbing some white, and I'm going to mix that in. Oh, that's a nice color. Okay. I'm going to leave a little bit of it darker though, so I'm going to grab some of that, bring it over here, grab some more of the quinacridone magenta, and make a violet. I have to say that this palette pad is a lot quieter than my foam plates mixing. You don't hear the screech, 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 screech. I don't miss that noise.
Yeah, we've had several requests asking, what is that you're using?
I put it down in the description, so I put a link down in the description with my materials list.
Nice.
It's called the
Gray palette?
Gray palette. I'm trying to think of the Richardson, I think, is the brand. But
let me scroll on down here and give it a look.
I don't think I put the name of it. I
What?
put gray palette paper. Gray palette pad, maybe. Okay, so
Yeah,
there,
sure
there, and we'll be glad we pre-mix this when we get going, because this is actually a very, very quick project too. It does not take very long. I'm going to put some white out here and pull off some of that quinacridone magenta and make a pink. It's pretty pink out of it.
So
Leave some of the darker color.
the purple kind of matches your fingernails there.
It did. I kind of, I painted the purple before I chose what I was going to do today, but it probably influenced it some. Not going to lie. So we'll add a little bit of white to our red here, just to get a softer red to work with. Use a little bit of the red, mix with the orange. So you see what we're doing, we're kind of creating these ladders between color. And we'll use a little bit of each of these colors when we transition from one color to another, and it'll make a little bit more sense when we start painting. But that's why you want to be sure when you're doing a painting like this that if you do choose to use different colors, to think about the colors that are sitting next to each other and whether they will mix well together. So if you set a purple next to a yellow, they're opposite on the color wheel, and so when they blended, it would make a brown or, you know, dark, like gray color. It wouldn't be a necessarily really pretty color. So just think about that, you know, especially like red and green next to each other will do the same thing. Blue and orange will make all of the colors that are opposite on the color wheel will create
So I never
browns or neutral colors instead of vibrant.
I never really thought of that.
colors.
So when you put these out on your palette, you're putting them in kind of like a color wheel
Kind
order?
of, yes, I am. Yeah, I do that intentionally. Yep.
Wow. Subliminal messages.
Right.
That wasn't picking up on it at all. Must be a husband thing.
Don't know. Can't tell you. Couldn't tell you. All right, yellow over here, and I'm going to use the unbleached titanium with the yellow. Create kind of a soft, creamy yellow. And then this bright green with the teal. Mix those two together and make a green. And if you don't have these exact colors, just use what colors you like. If you don't have this green, you know, you can mix something similar. I would say to keep the colors in the same value range, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't have like a super pastel color next to a really, really dark. So that's why I'm kind of adding a little bit of white to most of these colors. These ones are already have white in them, so that's why I don't have to do that with them. But all right, I think we're pretty good. I'm going to add a little bit more blue to this one, darken it up just a little bit. Now comes the fun part. Okay, so if I wanted to use Q-tips, I'm going to show you kind of in the middle a little bit what I would do. So I've just taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Q-tips, and I've taped them together. You can use rubber band.
That is cute tape.
Isn't it?
That is very cute.
Well, you have to have cute tape
Okay.
for art. It makes it look better. It makes you feel better when you're painting.
Feel better? Okay.
Yeah, it feels better. Okay, so I think I want to add a little bit more blue to this. So you just kind of load it up. With Q-tips, you don't have to go super thick, and some of these are not making contact, so I'm just going to push the ones up that need to be pushed up. And you just would tap. See how that does? This is great fun for kids. And if I was doing this with kids, I probably would not use the palette knife, just would use something like this or the sponge, because actually this would probably be the easiest way of doing it, because it would be easier to control. So there's that. Let's show you what it looks like with the sponge. So we'll use the next color with the sponge here. So there's the sponge. You just tap lightly, leaving a little bit of the undercolor showing through. Going a little bit darker in some places. But we're using the palette knife, so let's get that out. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. And what are you laughing at?
Enough of the child's play.
Exactly.
Let's get out the knife.
Let's get out the knives.
It's a switchblade palette knife. Don't bring Q-tips to a palette knife
right,
painting.
Oh gosh, we're so weird. Okay, so I've deliberately chosen a palette knife that's got a little bit of a rounded tip, just so that the top edges of my tree are a little bit softer, rounded, but I'm going to also kind of try with the spoon and see if it works with the spoon, just out of curiosity to see. So what I did with mine is I just kind of set it down and ran it in a circle a little bit. So just kind of run it in a circle, let some of that paint scrape off. See how I'm kind of creating colors. Now we've got the color underneath there, so it's going to react a little bit differently, and I'm turning it around so that on the bottom I've got that pointy end facing down too. See that? Probably need to tilt that.
Just going to give a shout out to Kathy, who's watching live for the first time.
Hey, Kathy.
So welcome, Kathy. Thank
Yes.
you that you joined us.
That's awesome.
Hopefully she's still here. She popped in chat earlier, but...
Well, one of our ladies, I can't remember her name now, was here early, and she was, I think it was 1 a.m. there.
Yeah.
To South America? Or
South
Africa?
South Africa, yeah. Yeah.
What was her name?
Oh, man, I don't remember.
Okay.
I had to redo my YouTube window here. When you start it doesn't automatically start.
Oh, so it didn't save the chat?
Yeah, I had to refresh it.
Okay. So I'm using a little bit of the darker color on the bottom here. I'm just blending it up into the tree. Creating these kind of textures in the paint. Now, if you didn't want to do the little curlicue, what you could do is set your palette knife down and tap it, and then set it down and tap, and it creates this kind of sticky texture in your paint. And especially with heavy body acrylics, it will dry with that kind of raised texture. So experiment to play with it a little bit, see what you like doing the best, what you kind of like. And then where these two are touching, I'm just going to kind of grab a little bit of both colors on my knife here and just sort of tap them together. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of the darker blue. Mix that in. And use a little bit of that at the bottom. There we go. Grab some of that dark purple. Use that down here. Yep. All right, let me wipe that off. Grab the quinacridone magenta.
This is looking cool.
Good.
one.
Go nice and high with this.
This would have been a perfect one where I could add my own palette over here.
Oh, I know. You could.
painting,
You
and I
can
could
do
have
one of
gone
these
at it.
trees if you want.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to
No.
do that to you.
Okay. I don't mind.
But man, I should have thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Some of that darker color down here.
So is that quinacridone purple?
Yeah. Quinacridone magenta.
Ooh,
The purple
magenta.
is ultramarine blue and quinacridone both
Oh, okay.
together, and then that's more. It's the same two colors with a little bit more of the ultramarine blue.
Okay.
I feel like it's getting a little muddy there. Cleaned off. Let's grab some red. And I do want to leave a little bit of white here and there, so kind of went a little bit, tapped that one in a little bit more than I did the others. So I feel like these are getting a little too solid. Let's grab some of that in-between orange. Add a little bit of that in here. Some of the brighter orange. Ooh, there we go. Grab some yellow and orange mixture there. Just do kind of in between those two there. Bright yellow, green, light green, and okay, just making sure I'm leaving room for all of my colors. Actually a very fast project too. You'll see we're going to get this done pretty quickly tonight.
Okay, you got some fans out here. Rhonda wants you to know that she loves your painting. How did she put it here? Hold on. See, I should be more prepared when I interrupt. She's in Texas.
Okay.
And said to learn so much from you. You are her favorite artist.
Oh.
And follow all your tutorials.
Wow.
And Loretta says great painting ideas. Following you regularly inspire me to try new things.
That's
So
great.
that's awesome.
That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Very cool. Okay. This one, I kind of like my example one better than this one. That happens sometimes. I think it's the texture of the board. I think that the paper was picking up the paint a little bit differently. So I think if you did this on like a textured panel, it might give you better results, or I might just be getting a little bit too much paint on my thing here.
But actually, that's pretty cool, so people can see the difference between painting on different surfaces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The results.
Yeah, very true.
I like that.
I meant to do that.
So then we'll paint on the carpet and
Use
see how that
that.
goes.
Gosh. Been there, done that. without anybody watching. Don't need to repeat that one. All right, I'm going to grab some white and mix some white with this orange over here. This is my orange-yellow mixture. Maybe grab a little bit more of the yellow.
So Kills is asking, could you use a dry sponge to pick up some of that extra paint?
You probably could, yeah. Let me try that. Let's see. Especially over here where it's drying. Oh, yeah. Ooh, look at that. That is working pretty well. Especially that paint that's sticky. Good
Interesting.
suggestion.
Good job.
Give it a different texture there.
We'll give her half price off of her admission fee.
Okay. Just going to add a little bit of this lighter color now onto this side here, right there, to pick up a little bit of light. And then use this color over here to do my highlight with a little bit of yellow maybe, or with a little bit of white, I mean. As these are drying, do this. All right, then I'm going to grab this color that was this green, or the green. God, I cannot use my words when I paint. It's just
The light green yellow shade.
no,
No,
I
not
wasn't
that
even
one.
close. That was the funny thing. What is this color? Orange and red. Thank you. God, it wasn't even green. It wasn't even close to green. My brain is working right now.
She's so far into the art brain.
I am so far into the art brain. It just
Wow.
was not even there anymore.
That should be a warning label to people.
Warning, art brain.
Warning.
Art brain may make you not use your words as good. Don't try to talk while you paint. It won't go well. Something like that. I don't know.
Okay,
Oh.
so we should have people paint their versions of your paintings while they're trying to instruct how to do it,
Yeah.
and then we can see how they all come out.
Yeah.
Post it on Facebook.
Yeah. Just record yourself trying to talk while you're painting. See how it goes. Yeah.
That being said, if you're new to Angela's channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We got a couple hundred people here watching us
Great.
from all over the world. If
Awesome.
you're new, subscribe to her channel. Like the video. Down below is all the materials that she's using with links to purchase them if you don't have them. Social media links, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
All those good things.
all those good stuffs.
Pinterest.
Pinterest, oh yeah. And also a link to the brush guys.
Yes.
You can buy some palette knives.
Hold on. Red and quinacridone. I forgot to do those two colors, so I just mixed them and added a little bit there. Okay.
That's
Continue.
okay. No, that's okay. And so the brush guys, there's a link down below. You get 5% off using the
Angela
code
Fine
word
Art.
Angela Fine Art. So go get you some.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got.
Okay. So adding a little bit of white to that quinacridone and red mixture, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that. So I'm creating kind of some highlights on this one side here just by adding a little bit of the lighter mixed colors. Maybe a little bit more of the white there. And here again, it's the color this side of, so a little bit of that. Make sure it kind of unifies the painting. Right. So I wanted to do it before these get too dry over here because I want it to kind of blend a little bit with those colors. These ones probably won't blend a whole lot. We'll add a little bit of quinacridone and white to this violet color. Use a little bit of that up here. That's pretty. And then a little bit of white with this blue color. And it's got a little bit of these pinks in it with it too. Still on my brush. Use a little bit of that over here. Okay. So far so good. 36 minutes, we're almost, oop. That must have been from the sponge. I'm going to throw my sponges in the water there so they don't dry out with the paint in them. Alright, while I've got these paints out, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and scrape them. This is dry down here, and I'm going to start laying in the color underneath each one of these.
People are asking if you're going to use a spoon.
Oh, yeah, let's use a spoon. Okay.
I was like, what spoon? And then I look over there and I see a spoon.
Yeah, let's try the spoon and see how it does as a palette knife. Just kind of trying to sort of doing a straight line. It's not perfect, so doesn't have to be exact. Kind of letting those colors merge a little bit. Trying not to get too much of that purple in with these oranges though, because I don't want it to merge with the yellow. Okay, there we go. Okay. And then I'm going to do like this. I'm going to set it down and scrape it down. While it's wet. Make it look kind of like a reflection or something happening there. A little bit more orange. There we go. Good. All right, let's get our green in here. Grab that green. Make sure my palette knife's clean. Add a little bit of yellow to it just to start that transition right here. Bring it nice and high. Oh yeah, let me grab that spoon and see what it does before I forget. Alright, so I'm just gonna scrape it up on the edge there. I think you could probably do a tree with little leaves almost with it. You kind of have to reload pretty often. Keep it on that front edge where you can make contact with the board. Let me try the flat part. Yeah, that's doing some interesting stuff there. Interesting different texture. All kinds of things we can do. Yeah. Okay, we'll grab my palette knife again just so that I've got the continuity of shapes and everything happening. Very light touch. Once you get your paint on there, you're just kind of moving it around gently. If you scrape too hard, you're going to scrape right down to the white part, which I do want in some places, but you don't necessarily want to scrape it all off. So we're just kind of trying to control the pressure. I like this. This is really fun. I wasn't really sure. I got this done late today because I had all kinds of ideas. So many. I hate days like today where I just have too many ideas and I could do that and I could do this and I just can't decide on one thing. I'm just like, pick something and do it. And my brain just keeps coming up with ideas. And anyhow, so that was today. So I didn't get this done actually until about 2 hours ago. But I like it.
But it looks cool. You're using several different tools and techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Very informative.
Yeah, this is a different. We've done some trees with the sponges before, and we've done some trees with these kind of stems with the. I've just added white to this green here, but we haven't ever done it with the palette knife. So just kind of trying something new and doing the rainbow kind of. Just thought that'd be fun. I was looking at my my previous videos, for the last month or so. There was a lot of yellow and a lot of pink, but there was no red, and so I was like, I need to get some red going on. I felt like was a red day. And then I was like, well, why don't we just do all the colors while we're at it?
Might as well.
Might as well.
They're all just sitting there looking at you.
Exactly. They're like, really?
That sad look on their face.
Mm-hmm.
So are there any paints you like haven't used in a long time?
Colors?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that I try not to introduce a lot of new colors on my YouTube videos. So I've got a whole tray full of paints in there that I'm not using, which is kind of sad. Because I really...
Is that because you don't want everybody to feel like they have to go out and buy?
Yeah. I just try to
bunch of
kind of
paints?
limit the colors that I introduce. So
Well,
they
that's nice of you.
don't feel like they have to... Because every time I do a new color, it kind of seems like the panic ensues. Because then nobody has that color yet, or, you know, very few people do. And so I just don't like to cause problems. Keep it simple. So yeah, I had there's a ton of colors that I haven't used in a long time. Getting it on my other sheets. The folks in my my Patreon, I have a Patreon Facebook group, and this Monday we painted apples. Let me show you. I almost did this as our tutorial, but I wasn't ready to do it. Anyhow, we painted apples two ways, more impressionist style and realistic style, and I got red on the side of my notebook, and last week I got green on the side of this. It's like the last 2 Mondays I've destroyed both of my notebooks in my art chats. That's all right. Okay, so we're almost done. Let's use some of this turquoise down here. Teal, I should say. Green. Grab some of that green. Grab some of that lighter green. There we go. And then to finish it, let me add some of this yellow in this tree here. Maybe a little bit on this one. Oops, that was a little off. Sorry. I'm going to use this white. See if I can get some clean white here. And load it on the edge of my palette knife. And just run it kind of sideways along that color line here. So maybe it's water, I don't know, we don't know, but we'll just do like that. And then to finish it, probably just said that. Yeah, I decided I liked the palette knife better. Okay, so I'm grabbing some of that black. It's still wet here on my little palette knife here. I'll turn it. And now I'm going to go up into my trees, over the top of them. And if you want to, you can kind of select a line that's already there and just extend it. Maybe do that there. Do a few branches. Probably best to let the color here dry first. Oops, I was off camera there.
I find myself just watching you, not watching the video feed, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I've got a front row seat exactly, but you don't, you've got all kinds of stuff in the way. Can't really see through. See, there's the thicker paint here. It's kind of not wanting to come off as easily. What were you saying?
I should post a picture on Facebook of my view.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got all kinds of stuff in the way. back in the corner over there where it belongs, right? With the dog. Hanging out.
You're like, stay away from me.
Over in the corner, yeah.
This is the business side. There's a party in the back over here.
That's right. Mm.
We're the mullet part of this operation.
That's, yeah. Okay, let me see there. Yeah, I don't like how that knife was working that, but let's see if I can get a few more better. Yeah, there we go.
It's very texture-y.
It is. It's much more
Yeah.
textured than I normally do.
Yeah, I'm going to
But
zoom
that's one of the
in
things
close
about
to
the palette
the
knife that I
colors so people can
like.
see.
okay.
And pull that down a little bit.
Yeah, I'll move it around a little bit. You can see that texture on there. Now, so if you get a little bit too much like I did there, I'm just going to grab that purple color. What's this one here? Scrape some of that off on my knife and just tap it back over to kind of hide it. And I think I'm going to do that in a couple places up here, just kind of where that line ends, just to sort of make it not look like it's floating on top so much. So kind of the colors peeking through in some places right here. Just be careful not to pick up too much of that black got picked up there. Go. Grab some yellow. Need some brighter orange on this one. There we go. Now it's just kind of like little subtle changes, little things. Kind of, I would suggest leave it up in your room, maybe for a day or two, and look at it, see if there's anything that really sticks out to you that needs to be changed. Sometimes things will kind of, for me especially, I don't know, I've just noticed that sometimes when I'm painting something in the process, it's harder to see changes that I want to make, and oftentimes if I wait a day or two and come back to it, I can see almost immediately what I want to do to change it. So well, this is getting muddy right there.
So somebody named John says, very fun project.
Good.
Loving the lavender nails.
Thank you.
Mom and Dad.
Aw. Hey, Mom, Dad. We were just thinking about you guys because we realized that next year,
Talk in the microphone.
I can't find my green.
Oh, I have it over here.
Oh, thank you. She just angrily threw it down.
I got it because somebody was asking what color it was. I didn't want to disrupt you.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for that.
So you were saying you were thinking
Oh,
about
I was
your mom
thinking
and
about
dad?
them because when the eclipse came through yesterday, I didn't get to see it very well. Mark and Spencer did, but I didn't have glasses, and so we realized that the next one that comes through is going to come right smack dab through. It's what 2024, something like that. It's going to come right smack dab through town, so we'll have to have everybody come over and have a big eclipse party.
So back to the painting real quick. Jillian wants to know if you painted the black lines and then put tape over it and then removed it, would you get the same effect? So instead of going back and putting black lines in the colored part, would you paint it all and then tape it off and then come back, or would it be too uniform?
Tape off the lines for the...
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would be a different look, but yeah, definitely. I mean, I think... I say this project is definitely one where you can really let your imagination go and try all kinds of new things. Okay, there. I'm going to put some of that blue over here. This tree is turned into a brown. Brown. Black. It's mixed with that black down here. That's okay. It's not quite as vibrant on this bottom section of the tree there.
But like you said,
I actually don't think it's bad. I honestly don't mind that too much. So I'm going to add a little bit of this green and this yellow over here.
Kind of looks like a shadow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of the idea, is doing that darker color on the bottom section there. Let me add a little bit of this yellow to the green and do it on the bottom of my yellow tree. A little bit of it. There we go. Okay, I think I'm going to call it good. What do you think? Pretty cool? Different? Yeah, I think I went a little too high on this one. I probably would have not gone quite that high. And honestly, if you wanted to, you could go back in with white. It'll alter it a little bit, but you could take the white and pull it down over the top and cover it. You may take a couple of runs to get it covered well, but you can, yeah, tone it down a little bit there. Let me sign it. Oh, we need to do Stickman. Let's do him.
Yeah.
Let's give
That's why
him a
everybody
big
showed
red
up
tree.
tonight.
I'm going to use the Q-tips. And we'll give him a big old red tree with the Q-tips right here. Stickman is our mascot. Mark drew him, and we add something to him every
This one Mark
show.
painted.
That's
It's
true.
a
This
watercolor
is this is an
done-
original watercolor done by Mark.
Done at Crystal Bridges
Museum.
Museum.
Yep.
And he kind of turned out to be kind of an Amish looking.
He's
with
got a beard.
Yeah, because I don't know how to control watercolors like I do Sharpies.
That's all right. He's awesome.
It's all part of the art journey.
Yes, exactly. You got the lingo down right now.
See? I've been paying attention a little bit.
A little bit. Can't get that. I almost get a line there. There we go. He's behind our little garden gate down here, and there in a little. Imagine he's got his owl friend there too, so he's all hooked up. He's at the beach too, and there's an eclipse, so we'll put something on him depending on whatever we're painting that day.
If she
Just
remembers.
for fun. When I remember. Yeah. We do it just for fun. Like our stretchy pants, right?
That's right.
Sometimes you have to wear them for fun. Okay, let me...
Or is
Sorry,
it dry
that's a
enough to
Napoleon
sign?
Dynamite. It's not dry enough to sign, so...
No, that's
we're
not
just gonna
Napoleon
imagine it.
Dynamite. That's the Nacho
No,
Libre.
Nacho Libre, yes, Nacho Libre, sorry. What was I thinking? I can do it on this side. I'll sign over here. I've got my Pigma pen. And very lightly sign. Ooh. And wipe that off so it doesn't ruin my nib. In case it got paint on it. All right. The Pigma pen link is down in the description. Also, if you want to use those to sign it, they make them, they're kind of a brush tip, so it looks like you've used a brush, but it's permanent ink and waterproof and light fast, so it won't fade and it won't dissolve when you varnish your painting, so it's actually pretty good. I've started using those with most of my paintings lately, and saves time. You don't have to get out the little liner brush, and those kind of stress people out sometimes, so. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this. We really enjoyed bringing it to you. It's been fun hanging out with you tonight, and we'll be back on Saturday. Let me show you what we'll be doing. This was recorded a couple months ago with my Patreon folks, so this is our Patreon-only live show this Saturday for the $5 and up donators. So we're going to be painting a lighthouse with thunderstorm, lightning, for that show on Saturday at 2 p.m. But this will be uploaded. This one, the waterfall, will be uploaded for the public on Saturday as well. So if you're not part of Patreon, don't worry. We'll still have a video for you. And this was actually really, really fun one. It turned out really nicely. I liked how it turned out. It was like a painting or a photograph that one of our viewers submitted to me. And so we used that and did our waterfall. Grotto, right? New word. So that was fun. So hope you will check that out if you're not part of our Patreon live stream, and if you are, hope you'll do both. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see you on Saturday for the live show, and we'll be back next Tuesday with our regular show. And I don't know what we're doing yet, but it'll be something fun. Hopefully, usually the Tuesday night ones are a little bit shorter.
It better be.
What?
It better be fun.
Better be fun.
That's all I'm saying.
Are you quitting?
That's right. I'll walk, I'll strike.
Okay. Well, we'll have to get you painting next time. It'll be a lot more fun then.
Okay, we'll get a camera and set it up over here,
There
too.
you go.
So they can watch.
Yeah. All right, so if you want to do this and share it with me, I've got all those links down in the description for my social media. And if you want to join Patreon, the link to that is also down in the description. It's patreon.com/AngelaFineArt. And you can find traceables and all kinds of good stuff on there, exclusive stuff for folks who want to help support our channel. It's been awesome. We've been able to buy new sound equipment and lights. And
You were at 698 just before the show. Supporters.
Nice.
That's incredible.
It's insane. I
And
had
thank you
no
so much. We're
idea.
humbled.
Yeah, we started in February. Really had no clue if anybody would even be wanting to support what we're doing. So we've been able to buy new cameras, and it's been really awesome. Amazing people. We so appreciate you. So, all right, we're gonna get off of here. We've got to go pick up our son from band. We'll see you next time. Bye.